Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Dairoku. And after a couple days off for the weekend, we're back! So we're with Shiratsky, because that's what we've been doing every single time, and yeah. So that's what I remember. Anyway, yeah, so were we in the beginning of chapter 3? I can't remember, but I think we might have been. Yeah, we must be, because I have it in my guide, like, okay, go to Shiratsky, and that's, so I don't really know. I don't know where we are until we get to a choice, because it's like every single map option is Shiratsky, so it's really hard to keep track at this point. Anyway, there's a song about the falling snow and how dogs run in the garden, though it seems like dogs aren't the only ones excited about the snow. After hearing how Shiratsky fell ill from having a snowball fight with the Zashiki Warashi, worried over how he was doing, I went to see him. Okay, I don't know. That was a long sentence. Anyway. I thought they don't get sick. And then he had a snowball fight and now he's sick? Doesn't make sense. Anyway. Jokes aside about foxes loving the snow, just how did you manage to catch an Ayakashi cold? This is the result of Shiro taking on snow kids, Zashiki Warashi, and a battalion of Kitsune kids. His answer was so vague. Coco, you're not getting through to her. It was a snowball fight with Ayakashi powers fed into the snowballs. Shiro's an adult, so he held back, but the kids gave it their all. And in the middle of it, Shuten joined in, hurtling cannonball-sized snowballs. He got hit with spiritual Ayakashi power. On top of Shiratsky using his own powers, he was imbued with even more spiritual energy. So spiritual power more excessive than you thought was focused on you in the snowball fight, and that's what gave you the Ayakashi cold. Oh, well, quite an embarrassing predicament. The usual vigor in Shiratsky's speech was gone. I don't know how to make him sound weak right now, so likely because of the fever. I watched, but all that happened is he lost since he held back and didn't become a nine-tailed fox. Shiro's always so nice to the kids, Mew, but Tamamo said he should have been able to keep from getting an Ayakashi cold, Mew. I did fight back. But oh my, shooting through that egregiously large snowball at me after all. He was buried under a mountain of snowballs, Mew. His eyes were practically spinning when we dug him out, so Coco and I brought him back, Mew. He's heavy and there's snow on our clothes. What a mess this is for us. I'm so sorry to trouble you, Coco. You promised not to say that, remember? I can do this much at least, seeing as how you do take good care of me. I love their bromance, it's adorable. Was this some kind of planned skit or something? So, where were you having the snowball fight? In Makatsui. I was just on my... I don't know why I was saying that in Coco's voice. For some reason, anyway. In Makatsui. I was just on my way to ask the snow women to cool some sake. The children were playing with skis and sleds from the real world, and I was watching them. One child covered you in snow as they sled down, with the snowball fight breaking out from there, and you just got too engrossed in it, didn't you? I see. I imagined the scene of the snow kids playing with new toys, starting some mischief with their tails. I'm so glad you understand. I didn't realize such a commotion had occurred. Are playful fights like this common? I'm just imagining Shiratsky, like, bounding around in the snow. Like a playful little fox bounding around in the snow, and it's kind of fucking adorable, and I'm here for it. Well, there are clashes of spiritual power, but no one side is overpowered, I think. The other day, a Nekomata threw a kitty punch at her husband, and he was bedridden for a while. I guess it happens in couples disputes, too. Come to think of it, both of you have taken care of him all this time, haven't you? If you'd like, I could take your place, so please go and take a break. Yay! Thank you, Mew! That's a huge help, Mew! It's really weird that she says mew all the time because it feels awkward when I'm saying her lines and I have to mew. I don't know why, it just comes out weird. I don't know if it sounds so weird to me. It sounds so unnatural when I do it. I don't know. Are you sure? You're busy, so I'd feel bad putting too much of a burden on you. It's fine. I'm actually not on the clock yet today and just came to see how things were. Oh my. You're taking your own time to come and see me. I mean, yes, because I'm in love with you, but, like, we don't know that yet. I mean, I was worried. I see. That being the case, I'll stay by Shiratsuki. Don't worry about him and just rest. Thanks, we'll do that. Please take care of Shiro. Okay, we'll go take a break then. Mew. She didn't say mew that time, but, like, after they leave, the room suddenly fell quiet. Aww. Look at the little bandage on his head. That's a cute CG. He's just like, ugh. The little, like, cool towel on his head is so funny. It seems like Ayakashi colds give you a fever. Are you in pain? I do feel lightheaded, but I'm not in pain. I wonder if your temperature's high. We should cool you down with something from the real world. And now I couldn't burden you any further by asking more of you. What are you talking about? I'd be a disgrace if I didn't help the Ayakashi living here when they're in trouble. Besides, that's just what I want to do. I can't stand seeing you in such anguish, Shiratsuki. You really are such a kind person. Thank you. That makes me happy to hear. You're like that with everyone, though. Huh? Did you say something, Shiratsuki? He's disappointed. He's like, you're nice to everyone. I want you to be just nice to me. I want you to be nicer to me than everyone else. I'm jealous. Oh, no. I was just feeling nostalgic. Did something similar happen in the past? All right. Very far into the past. As Shiratsuki spoke, he began to fall asleep. After a short while, Coco and Kinka returned. Dust in my face, sorry. Hello! We're back! Oh, Hello! We're back! Are you all nice and refreshed now? Kinka, shh! I quickly gesture for her to be quiet. Huh? Oh, Shiro fell asleep, Mew! Thanks for taking care of him in our place. How's Shiro doing? It seems his fever's a bit high, so after checking with Sammy, I'll head to the real world once and come back here. To the real world? Sorry, I clicked that too fast. There are plenty of tools to cool down a fever, and I thought it'd be better for him. I'll check over some other things, too. I wanted to find out how to fix an Ayakashi cold. My nose itches so bad right now, I'm so sorry. Alright, I'll head out now. Now my ear itches. Everything itches! Right as I moved to get up, a voice cracked. Back? Back? I can't do his voice. Back? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you? You're going back. His pained voice made me worry. Yes, I was thinking of heading out soon, but are you all right? I am. Oh, Shiratsuki's tail. He expressed that he was fine, but Shiratsuki seemed a bit saddened somehow. It's so funny because for some reason, his belt buckle and everything, it looks like it spells out vet or something. Because I saw the V line on it, and I was like, I'm like, oh no, it's just the way the belt is. It's got those straps and everything, but I'm like, it just looks almost like it's got, like, I know it's more like an I. It's like V-I. It's not really. It's the way the belt, but it just looks like it. And I was like, he needs to go to a vet. We need to take our fox boy to the vet. Let's bring him to the real world. Do you bring him to a doctor or do you bring him to the vet? Shit. I don't know. Maybe he actually doesn't want me to leave. You do tend to get emotional when you're sick. A feeling of guilt swelled within me as I saw how weak Shiratsuki was, which was so unlike him. I did want to stay with him, but I was at a loss as to what to do and was paralyzed by indecision. What to do? Stay. Go to the real world. We probably stay. Hold on. And now we find out if this is where we are in the thing. It is where we are in the real thing. Okay. I was in the right spot on my guide. Actually, I think I'll stay. I can't just leave a sick person behind. Sammy would allow me to stay here for a bit more if I explained the situation. It's all right. I'll stay here for a bit longer. Are you sure? I can't just leave you, Shiratsky, but just a bit longer, all right? I see. Thank you. You really are so kind. I'll pay you back. You don't need to do that. I'll be fine as long as you get better. Pay me back by getting better, Shiratsky. We have to be over dramatic. Come on. Right. It's a promise. I'll get better soon. That's a promise, okay? That's what he just said. God. I gently take one of his hands in both of mine and try to encourage him. He looks shocked about that. I hope Shiratsky gets better soon. And then Shiratsky died. The end. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. That'd be the bad end. Like, he just never gets better or some shit. You're like, what the fuck? Chapter 3, Event Approval. A few days had passed since I spent the day with Hira and Takao under the huge Fujizakura. I feel incredible today. Maybe it's thanks to the time we spent there. My body's getting used to being in this place. I don't get dizzy. I can do my work with ease. Hey, Spacey, you got a minute? Sure, what's up? Sammy was reading documents on the sofa and handed me my concept for the event. We're doing this event you drafted up, right? Chief said it was news to him. To just submit the request. Crap. I forgot to submit the paperwork and get the chief's approval on it. I'm so sorry. I was so laser focused on getting Mitsuchi Ayakashi to join and I totally spaced. Oh, I had a feeling that was the case. Okay, you can finish up the concept doc later. You really need to go get that approval. I don't need the concept document for... I don't need the concept document for that? I'm sure the details will change after your meeting and you see the budget. We can't wait around for that. Besides, we need to get the other departments onboarded, so you gotta get the approval ASAP. Gotcha. Get the approval first. Finish up the concept later. Okay. I headed straight for Chief Tokiwa. Yay! Boyfriend! Chief's office! Excuse me. Look at his, like, swanky little office. What is happening here? He's got, like, little is his office sand? Why is it set up like this? First I was like, it's kind of swanky, and then I was like, wait. It's almost set up like a freaking sand garden, you know what I mean? Like a Zen garden where it's, like, sand, and then you have the stones and stuff, but, like, this is your office! Is that, like, a carpet, and then you have stones, and then am I allowed to walk on the carpet? What is happening here? What do you think? It's actually kind of cool in a weird fucking way. You're like, this is kind of awesome, but I feel like it's extremely problematic. Because, like, how does this even... Do you have to step on the stepping stones to get to, and then you step on the platform and then you walk across the boards to get to the couch? You can't just, like, diagonal. You're like, no! Don't step on the carpet! The carpet is fake sand! Like... Or is it actually, like, small stones, like gravel or something? Like, what is happening? I'd never been to the chief's unique office. Unique is a word for it, yeah. The ground was covered in gravel. It is gravel! Ah! What the fuck? Okay, I love Tokiwa even more now because his office just makes no goddamn sense. Oh my god. Oh... The ground was covered in gravel like a garden. There were stepping stones, wooden boards, and in the back, a room with a sunken kotatsu. The parlor had a western sofa and desk. Beautiful. Beautiful. Unique is the word. But, I mean, I don't hate it. I just question his interior design choices. But it's also like, you're like, this is unique. And unique, but it's also, this is unique. It's unique in a good and bad way. Like, I question your sanity, but also, yeah, you know, it's kind of brilliant. Oh, hey, glad we didn't miss each other. I was actually just headed out to check on Samy's squad. Chief Tokiwa's voice snapped me out of my daze. I brought him my document. He had his stamp ready. I'm sorry you were going to come by to do this. I'll make sure to do this earlier in the future. I handed him my documents for approval. It's okay. I was just stopping by on my way to the real world. Tokitsugu kept me informed. Oh, you're headed back, Chief? That's the idea. I've got a dinner today with a bunch of executives over there. I have to be present. The chief gave a feigned smile as he stamped my document. You must have a lot on your plate. His rank is higher than mine. I can only imagine what kinds of things he has to keep to himself. Yeah, I'd rather not go into it if I can help it, but as head of the 6th, it's my duty. My job's to go out there and pull the strings I need for you to do your job effectively. Wow, thanks for everything you do. Also, being voiced by Jun Fukuyama. Listen! He could absolutely just be the worst character in here, and I'd still be like, I don't care, I love him, cuz Jun Fukuyama. I just have to make sure that I remind everyone of this constantly, because, you know, in case you forgot. In case you forgot! Did you forget? I never forget. Yeah, well, the least I can do is indulge myself. I'm gonna pig out and drink a ton. His smile turned into a trickster's grin. I laughed as he glanced at the clock and stood. Here, we'll need your proposal budget next. Tokitsugu or Tadashi can help fill that out. Thank you. I took the paperwork and the two of us walked out together as he made his way to the real world. This is me. Have a good one. Thanks, you too. I hope it goes well. I saw him walk off as he waved at me. I don't know why it feels really weird. Right there where he's like, have a good one. You're like, you too. And you're like, that's such a normal fucking conversation that you do about 30 times a goddamn day on the phone, talking to anyone, like whatever. And it's just funny because like, I feel like in that moment, I'm like, is it just me because I've been saying that a lot to people? Like with having to call and set up utilities and switch things and question services and doing all this and all these fucking phone calls and like everything for moving. That like, I just feel like when I see it in a game, I'm like, that seems so weird here. It's so normal, but it's like, do we do that in games normally? Have we had, is that like a normal, because I feel like you don't see it in games and all of a sudden you're like, it's too real right now. Maybe that's what it is. Just because I've said it like 30 fucking times today. Okay, thanks. You have a good day. And I'm like, oh my God. In the last week, I swear to God, I've probably talked to 7,000 people. And it's like, please, I just need to stop. I had to space things out because like I made like so many calls today about things that I was like, okay, I can't call anymore and like switch the gas service over to my name. I can't do electric. I can't do anything. I had to space them out, like put a reminder on my calendar tomorrow to like call someone else. And then Wednesday, call someone else. I'm like, I can't do it. I am an introvert. I do not like talking to people. And I have to like call 700 people on phones. And it's like, oh, I hate my life right now. I don't want to do this anymore. 2 more weeks. Like, sort of. Basically. Like, I have to sit here with my thumb up my butt this week. I can't really move into my place yet, even though I have the keys now. I got the keys this weekend. But I got the keys this weekend, and I was like, oh my God, I got the keys this weekend, and I can sort of move stuff over. And it was like, okay. And then I got home, and I was like happy, but I was like so overwhelmed that I was like, like I cried. I don't know. Like, not even happy. I was just, it's just so much. I don't know. Like, don't even ask. I don't even fucking know what end is up right now. I go from, like, everything will be fine to, like, why is everything awful? I can't handle this. To, like, literally sobbing hysterically. Like, I don't even know. Like, something is mentally wrong with me right now. It's got to be all the stress finally just hitting me. Before I was, like, angry, and now I'm, like, stress crying. I don't know. But I went over there yesterday, which was Sunday, right? To, like, bring some stuff over. And then I was like looking around and I already knew that the bathroom was kind of dirty. I was like, the bathroom doesn't look very clean. Like I need to clean the shower or whatever. So I was like, it's fine. I'll just get my good bleach cleaner. Some just spray the fuck out of it. Right. And then I just actually looked at how dirty it was. And like, and then my family wanted, they were like, you kind of went really fast through the kitchen. So I'm like, okay, I'll do another Marco Polo, like, you know, right. So I was doing it, but I noticed that I'm like, the stove's a little dirty. I opened that oven. Oh my motherfucking God. Those people who left never fucking cleaned that oven ever. I am not a neat freak. I am kind of a gross person. Like, I'm gonna be dead honest. There is dust all over. Like my baseboards have probably never been dusted. Like, I don't think I have ever cleaned my oven interior. But even my oven after 6 years doesn't look nearly as nasty as this one. And that place has only been around for like 2.5, 3 years max. It was built sometime at the end of 2019. So those people lived there for probably like 2 years, okay? Did you ever, like, what the fuck? How disgusting are you? That if I am a gross human being, I think you're nasty. And I'm disgusted. That's amazing. That's fucking amazing. That's impressive. It's different when it's your dirt. Like, you know what I mean? When you're like, it's my mildew and my, like, you're like, oh, my shower's getting a little mildewy. I gotta clean it. It's your mildew. It's something different. It's like, you're like, oh, as opposed to somebody else's, it's somehow 10 times more disgusting, but still. The shit that's caked on the door. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And then I just realized there was like a cabinet that just had a bunch of shit in it still. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, especially because the owner's like, oh, we tried to clean up a little and like everything's fine. It's like, but like they didn't like really do the floors or anything because they're like, you're going to be moving in. And I was like, yeah, I'm not worried about that. Like I knew the floors were kind of like, you could see like some like a piece of paper here or like whatever dust and stuff. And you're like, it's because the people were moved out. They probably didn't clean, like scrub the floors or whatever. And then him showing the place and people moving in and out and like blah, blah. I was like, that's fine. I'm not worried about it, right? Thank fucking God they at least somebody vacuumed the upstairs carpet. Because if I had gone upstairs and like they were supposed to steam clean, I don't trust that they steam clean the carpet. But the only reason I'm not like disgusted even with the carpet is because if I move my table, my coffee table, you can see where the feet from my coffee table have been sitting for years. It's indented. There's no dents in the carpet at all. So like either it is the nicest fucking carpet that just pops back up after furniture's been sitting there, or they may have actually done a quick steam clean and vacuum, and you could tell it had been vacuumed because you could see like the vacuum tracks in it. Plus, I think the owners might have quickly vacuumed upstairs. But like they didn't do the best job because I'm like, and here's some elastics from your kid. Here's a little toy in the cloth. I'm like, okay, so and the bead. I'm like, you didn't do the best job with like cleaning, but like fine. Vacuums aren't going to pick that up if it's in the corners, and maybe you just quickly steam cleaned and you didn't like get the corners. But I didn't really notice too much. Like it wasn't like, oh my God, everything is disgusting until I looked at the motherfucking kitchen up close. And then I was like, you never cleaned this oven ever. And I was like, now I had to call this morning. I came home yesterday. I was crying yesterday because I was like, it's so gross. It shouldn't be this stressful. I just want to move into my place and like whatever. Thank God I got the keys because now nobody can come till next Wednesday. So I got a whole week that I have keys to a place where I could have just kind of moved some stuff. But I basically had to call and be like, I need you to do a move-in clean. I need somebody to come in here and basically scrub this motherfucking thing like it's the apocalypse because this thing is nasty. I'm like, it's disgusting. I do not want to touch anything in there now. I'm like, now I'm just like, so for them to do the cleaning, I don't want to have boxes and shit all over the place. Plus, I'm just going to let them be like, here's the PIN code for the garage when I reset it next weekend. And be like, just fucking let yourselves in and clean and then let yourselves out. I don't give a shit. And then I'll reset the pin, like, before I move in. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I'm allowed to reset the pin. They didn't tell me there was a pin for the garage, but I'm like, I see the directions on here on how to reset it, and I'm gonna fucking do it. Because you should not just have access to my fucking pin number on my garage. I know it's your, like, place that I'm renting, but you shouldn't just be able to fucking come over whenever the hell you want. Because I'm gonna store stuff in the garage. You know what I mean? So, like, plus, he still has one of my fucking garage door openers. So, like, because he kept it because he was going to. So, hopefully, he brings it back. Or I'm going to have to be like, hi, when are you dropping my garage door remote off? Because I want it. Like, we'll be at the house this day. Please bring it by. Thanks. Like, because, like, and that's the thing I don't understand. You kept one of the garage door openers. He's like, so he could come back and replace the air filter. And I was like, that's fine. I'm not going to have stuff here. Like, whatever. I might move. So, like, I wasn't too worried about it. But then I realized, like, he was getting ready to leave and his wife and kids went outside because they were there. Went outside, got in the minivan, they closed the garage door, and I'm like, oh, they locked you out. He had the garage door up. So I'm like, how the fuck did they close the garage door if he has the opener? And that's when I came the next day, I looked and I'm like, oh, there's a keypad. They obviously had a pin. So you don't need my motherfucking garage door opener because you clearly know what the pin number is for the keypad. So you didn't need to keep my garage door opener. Or did you think I wasn't going to notice that keypad was there? You know what I mean? Or do you have a third garage door opener? Because that's shady as fuck. Like, don't just come to my house. Like, even if if I have to call you about, something like the dishwasher broke or something, there's warranty things. He's going to call the warranty people to get people to come over. But I'm like, but you should be calling them and letting them know. They said they can come between this. Okay, that's fine. I will be home. Nobody's coming to my fucking house. You are not giving them a passcode and be like, I'll just let them in. No! And you are not just showing up whenever the fuck you want, because that's shady as shit. Like, he didn't seem like the type of person that would do that, but I was like, I don't know. You didn't tell me, like, oh yeah, there's a pin code and just change it. And I'm like, you didn't tell me. And I was like, gonna ask. I was gonna be like, hey, so what's the pin code for the thing? Because I need to have someone go in and clean that disgusting filth hole. Like, how the hell you walked around and were like, it's basically clean? How you thought it was, you either did not fucking look or you're gross people, because that of it is disgusting. Like, the cabinets and doors, you're like, okay, with that stuff, you're like, oh, okay, just dust out the drawers and like there's crumb, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, clean the cabinets, fine. Like, and they had cleaned the refrigerator, but it's like, you know, it's still like, oh, I used a wet freaking paper towel to clean it, and then there was like watermark. So I'm like, it really isn't that clean, but it's clean enough. It just needs like a quick once over to just make it look, you know, not like somebody just wiped it down with a wet paper towel and left a bunch of fucking water streaks all over. You know what I mean? Because like, but like, the shower's disgusting. And the fact that I open the fucking drawers, every fucking drawer in the goddamn bathroom is that like pounds of human hair in it. And I'm like, ew, gross. I don't want someone else's hair in my like, it's just gross. It is gross. And coming from a gross human being, this is nasty. Okay, I'm going to tell you, like, I can go in my bathroom and probably like run my hand in the corner by the wall and like pick up pounds of dust in my own hair. Like, because I don't clean very often, but I'm still not as gross as these people. Like, nasty. And the fact that you left it in this disgusting condition, and then the owners just were like, it's clean. Really? It's not. You didn't look. You just trusted that they cleaned. And I swear to God, when I move out, if you try to take any of my security deposit because you need to do cleaning, I'm going to call fucking shenanigans. Like, bullshit. Because that place was disgusting when I moved in, and now I just had to pay someone $500 fucking dollars to come in and clean. Bull fucking shit. Like, no. I mean, there's scuffs and scratches on the walls, and it's like, you could have just, you have the paint in the garage, you could have just spot painted, but you didn't bother to do that either. Which kind of annoys me, but I'm like, I can paint. He's like, you can paint whatever the fuck, just as long as like I don't leave like a neon red wall or some shit. I just paint over it when I leave. So I'm like, fine, if I can paint and do like easy peel off wallpaper and shit, I can get a Mr. Cleaner magic eraser and erase the scuffs on the wall. Plus, there's the tan paint in the garage. I'll just spot paint it myself. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. That I'm like, whatever. It sucks that you didn't bother to do it. I'm more annoyed at how disgusting. I had to vent because it's killing me. I sat there last night like, oh God, like going again back and forth. It'll be fine. I'll just hire someone to clean, to crying hysterically because moving and getting my new place should be happy. And I'm just like, I just want to go back to my goddamn apartment that's falling down around me. I want to go home. And it's like, I shouldn't feel that way about a new place. And then I was like regretting every decision I ever made. And I'm like, and I think I'm like, am I really regretting this because I like red flags, or am just because like the prior people and the owners just give no fucks about the cleanliness of this place. And I guess everybody's just gross. I thought I was gross, but apparently I'm a neat freak. Which, you know, no, but okay. Compared to these people, yes. Because I expect that shit to be like brand fucking new, like no one ever fucking lived there when I move in. And maybe I've been spoiled by living in apartments, which is saying something, because at least they fucking clean and slap up a fresh coat of paint. Like, I don't know. Like, holy shit. But like, oh my God. I'm sure, like, after the cleaner people come in, I'll go in and be like, hopefully. But I was just like, they better fucking scrub that shit. I made sure, I'm like, they will clean the cabinets and the drawers because there's a fuck ton of hair in the drawers and it's disgusting. And the woman's like, yeah, that is kind of gross. And I'm like, I mean, feel bad for your people. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? You can do like, okay, I can clean up a little bit of dust or whatever, but they're doing top to bottom. And I'm like, I don't care, take my money. But like, that's an expense I didn't know I was going to need to have. And I'm kind of like fucking annoyed. So I need to drink. Anyway, that was my venting. 20 minutes later, we should play this game. But here you go. That's my fun of moving. So now I've got keys to a place that I can't do anything or move anything into because I don't want to have shit in the way of the people that are going to, like, you know, clean bomb this place. Like, you know what I mean? So like, fuck, what's the point? Plus, then every time I go over there, I'm just going to be depressed at how gross it is. So I'm like, I'm just going to avoid it for like the next. I have to go back over there in a couple days to get my internet set up. So like, whatever. But I'm like, just gonna bring a full body fucking like condom or something to go. I feel like a hazmat suit. Dear God. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just keep going. I just needed a vent. This is no surprise if you follow me on Twitter. I've been bitching about this for days. So you saw this 2 months ago. So hopefully by the time you're seeing this, everything is fine when you see this in probably April. Oh, good Lord. Anyway. When I got back, Sammy was scanning the front page of the document I showed him. Hey, so you got the stamp right? Hello there. Yes, I did. The chief said you informed him already. Well, it was only in passing. It was easy. He stamped it right away. Thanks for doing that. Sammy gave me the okay sign and went right back to work. He always babbles when he's joking around. Whenever I thank him, this is how he acts. I didn't try to continue the chat and went back to my desk to look over the budget sheet. I'll look through documentation on how to do this and ask Sammy or Yakumo if I need help. As I was looking through the budget paperwork, I noticed I had a sheet that didn't belong. I do think it's funny because we didn't go through, like, you know, everybody. But, like, I do think it's funny that Sammy is Orlok from Pio Fiore. It was Kobayashi in London Detective Mysteria, but I can't remember what he sounded like. And not Samantha Ephemeral. I think we read through all of these in the very beginning, but I just think it's funny. Takao is Kaito Ishikawa. Oh my god, that is fun. But we went through the beginning, it was before we met all the characters, and now I'm just looking back at it again, and it's just like so funny. Oh, Tadashi is Leo from Pio Verde. Oh, that's so funny. Oh. Yeah, I don't think, I'm like trying to think of all the voices in my head, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think any of them, we have any voices remotely like what we're giving them. That's so funny. Anyway. Yeah. I'll swing by the chief's office after work. I placed the page in a clear file in the corner of my desk so that I wouldn't forget it. He slipped something else in. Mysterious. Summoned! Chapter 3. I then switched with Yakumo and started on my rounds. The time's currently 2 a.m. Ayakashi are most active in the dead of night. I hope nothing happens. Just as I prayed for that, my phone rang. It wasn't the emergency alert, thankfully, but it wasn't from Sammy or Yakumo either. Who could it be? The display just says incoming call. Shiratsky? This is Spacey. Spacey, help me! At this rate, this will not end well. What? What's happening? I don't know what this is about, but the fact that they're calling me like this must mean it's important. Okay, I'll be over there right away. The 7 mysteries. I rushed over to Makatsui and found Akuro, Shinatsuki, and Hira there when I arrived. Huh? They were panicking on the call earlier, but now they just look totally normal. You guys seem fine. Spacey, you don't understand. We ran for our lives. Yeah, it's something like that. I'm exhausted. You're always exhausted, Hira. I was still thinking of how to respond when a sullen Akuro began to speak in a low tone. Spacey, and do you remember the story of the 7 mysteries I mentioned a little while ago? No. Huh? Oh. No? I've been hearing this story a lot lately. Have I? And there have been reports of huge footprints, bigger than the ones in the snowfield. Lots, too. Bigger than Yeti's footprints? The Ayakashimori haven't received any reports from witnesses yet. No one in the Nakakuni office mentioned it, and I hadn't heard it from other Ayakashimori. No one's ever seen it before. Only one footprint ever shows up in the snow. It's one of Sakuratani's 7 mysteries. Oh. So there are 7 mysteries in Sakuratani? I thought maybe he was talking about the Karakasa? But they're not that big. I wonder... Karakasa. Sneezy, the 7 mysteries of Sakuratani are very, very terrifying. First, the giant footprints in the snowfield. The second, the maple that moves, ever so slightly. A third is the plate that comes flying. The fourth is the sound of the faint, melancholy cry of a woman in the distance. I was like, the tree that moves? And I'm like, trees move. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's not swaying in the wind. It's like all of a sudden you're like, was the tree really? I thought the tree was here and now it's over there. And it's like actually uprooting itself and moving. That's a little freaky. The fifth, the sound of disembodied footsteps. The sixth is the big monster that's been seen in the woods near Nakakuni. Lastly, the strange mass above Azuchi Castle. The lone footprint Akuro mentioned was a real mystery for me, but wouldn't you say the other ones just seem normal in Sakuratani? Tsukumogami are human-made items that form souls and mutate into Ayakashi. Oh, whoops. I was like trying to flip over and mutation! Mutation! When humans or animals turn into Ayakashi. Don't you wish if when you were a human and you mutated it was because you were turning into an Ayakashi? As opposed to like, a mutant. Maybe Ayakashis are just mutants. Or mutants are just Ayakashi. Maybe that's the first step. You turn into an X-Man, and then you turn into an Ayakashi. Oh my god. We've figured out the secrets of the universe, guys. I've often seen bowls and cups grow legs walking around at Tamamo's store. The moving tree could be a kitsune or tanuki shapeshifting. The plate, Makatsui has one flying about every 15 minutes. Okiku cries whenever she counts the plates, and the Zashiki Warashi probably run around trying to spook people with their footsteps. We are you know what? Girl, we are like the fucking Scully to his Mulder right now. We're like, it's probably bullshit. And he's like, it's aliens! I'm not sure what monsters would be in the woods, but between Kitsune, Tanuki, and Oni, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just an Ayakashi. The weird mass at the top of the tower of the castle is probably just Hajun or Shuten climbing up there. Shiratsuki's like, how dare you? Shiratsuki gets an I Want to Believe poster and just puts it on his wall in the background. Shiratsuki went quiet after I said my piece. Shiratsuki? No! It's not Kitsune or Tanuki. It's definitely not any Makatsui Oni either. It's even scarier. I see. I don't understand what could be so scary. I've always been able to see things others can't, so spirits or Ayakashi don't faze me at all. But aliens might. I can think of so many reasons I'm unfazed. She's definitely the Scully right now. The 7 Mysteries of Sakuratani. Not that again. I heard it's popular right now. You know, huh? So I don't have to explain. He's going to sleep. It's rare that Hiro would get up to talk about this, though. I really didn't think that these things were something you'd get so worked up over. I haven't told you yet, but when the 7 mysteries gather, it'll bring calamity to Sakuratani. Calamity? They say if you uncover the 7 mysteries, you'll experience misfortune, and even more so when you come to know of the hidden 8th one. If all 7 gather and this calamity comes about, I wonder if the 7 Ayakashi causing these mysteries could actually gather together. Indeed! And the 7th mystery will supposedly appear when 6 of Sakuratani's mysteries have been discovered, drawing them all together. We have concern that at this rate, it's going to affect the entirety of Sakuratani. So for some reason, Akuro believing in all these conspiracy theories makes me be like, well, obviously they're real. I mean, they're probably real. There's some kind of realness to them. We're in a weird, mysterious land. But also, even if you were like, press X to doubt, freaking Hiro's over here like, I mean, seriously. And you're like, I mean, if anyone's going to convince me, it's going to be you. Shiratsuki, you're like, you're just melodramatic. Hiro's just whatever. But like, Akuro, nah. No nonsense bullshit over here. I don't expect him to be like, I'm just kidding. That was funny. Pulling a prank on me. Like, no. He's too straight-laced for that, I feel. So choose one of us. If someone has to stop it. There are a lot of strange details here, but if the 7th becomes visible when the 6th is discovered, how would you know? And how could such a thing affect all of Sakuratani? Something about this felt like it was just a big lie. Maybe they're making fun of me. I can see Shiratsuki doing it, but I don't know if Akuro or Hiro would do that. See, Akuro wouldn't. Oh, I don't think he would. Maybe it's true? Are you going to choose? Oh, go alone. Go with Akuro. Go with Shiratsuki. Go with Hira. This is a little suspicious. I so what? This is a little suspicious to be the right answer. I'm sure it's go with Shiratsuki because we're in Shiratsuki. We're trying to get down to Shiratsuki's route, so it is go with Shiratsuki. I just really want to say it's suspicious. I really do. I hope we get to say that at some point. Go with Shiratsuki. Chapter 3. How can I ignore a face that looks so desperate to be chosen? Okay, Shiratsuki, let's get going. You can give me the details on the way.
Oh, Spacey! Finally! You must have realized how reliable I am. I'm so happy.
What? It didn't seem like something he should be excited about, but his tail was wagging. I also just find it funny because, like, Shiratsuki is voiced by the Japanese VA who does Cloud in Final Fantasy VII, and I've only watched the remake in, like, obviously in English, so it's like, but it's still just funny because I'm just like, I forget what other things he's done. Not like Otome kind of stuff, but like, or well, like game stuff, other like anime stuff, because I know I've seen him before. But I'm just imagining Cloud the character and Shiratsuki. It's just funny. I mean, that's the power of voice acting, but it's just funny to me sometimes. I don't know. Shiratsuki noticed how suspicious he looked, gasped, and straightened himself out.
Beyond this point lies a dangerous being. I'll be with you, so don't be afraid. You're welcome to shriek in terror and grab onto my arm.
The look on her face is like, this seems a little suspicious. There's no way something so grave could be occurring. Shiratsuki led us to a place where the trees lined the road. The Fujizakura trees were in bloom.
This isn't good. This place is overflowing with evil.
He looks a little stressed around the eyes. Is that so? I don't sense anything.
And don't forget, I'm more sensitive than you are. Oh, look over there! A ghost from the real world. Boo! Yeah!
That's no ghost, it's Kinka. Shiratsuki, what is this? Is this just some big joke? I really need to get to work.
And this is no prank. It's completely serious. And you can't leave yet. Oh! Look, Spacey! Death in black robes. He wants to take your life.
What the fuck is this? What are they doing? It's fucking Coco. It's Coco. I'm sure of it. He looks a little sorry to be standing there just staring at me. Shiratsuki, I can't believe Akuro was like part of this. Shiratsuki, I can believe. Hira, maybe if he was like, fine, whatever. You know, but like, Akuro?
What is this? Why are you scared, Spacey?
I'm sorry to disappoint, but ghosts and scary stories don't do anything for me. Is it really that strange for an Ayakashimori? I mean, everyone trying to scare me right now is just in their normal clothes, too. Even the biggest scaredy cat wouldn't be afraid of this. I mean, that's the thing. You're like, are you seeing things? Because that's Kinka and Coco, and Coco's not even wearing a robe.
You're boring. I wanted to find your weak spot.
Huh? Why would you want to do that? Do you hate me or something?
No, it's actually the opposite. I actually quite like... Oh! Spacey, there's an insect on your shoulder.
Ah! That's when we freak out. Yeah. Ah! I freaked out and jumped as soon as the word insect left Shiratsuki's lips. Look at that little face. He's like, you don't like bugs. My shoulder? Get it off, Shiratsuki!
Just kidding.
He's like, there's ghosts, there's death, there's monsters. And you're like, uh-huh. He's like, there's a bug on your shoulder. Ah! I'm going home. I was way more annoyed now than I was being dragged out here to deal with the calamity of the 7 mysteries.
I never thought I'd see you like that. You must hate bugs. Despite being an Ayakashimori, you really are an ordinary girl.
An ordinary girl? Well, obviously. What do you mean by that? I feel like we should be like, what do you mean by that? Yeah, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Chapter 3. What do you mean by that? We've said that 10 times now. You're so rude, Shiratsky. Do you know that? I was so upset about this whole bug situation that I couldn't help but be snappy about it. I saw Shiratsky's tail begin to slump.
I'm sorry. You know, every practitioner I've ever met were practitioners first and humans second.
What?
And they all seek power at the expense of their humanity. And because of that, let's stop this. I was just happy to find out that you're an ordinary girl. I'll never lie to you again. Can you forgive me?
I feel like this is just a common occurrence with Shiratsky. Can you forgive me? I'm sorry. You're always sorry, fucking Shiratsky, but I still love you anyway. Shiratsky's cheerful smile was nowhere in sight, and his eyes even looked a little sad. I've never seen this side of Shiratsky. I've seen Shiratsky in a more sullen mood before, and maybe I've even seen him a little more melancholy. But I feel like this is one of the first times I've seen an expression of his true self. Kitsune hierarchy.
Hey, Shiro!
I don't know why we had to have question marks there. It was Kinka. Oh, that was Shiratsky. Ah! Kinka popped out of nowhere and kicked Shiratsky. He couldn't endure the shock, and Shiratsky fell straight to the floor.
Hey, Kinka, what are you doing? Koko told me to. I heard about the secret haunted house thing. No wonder you didn't invite Tamamo. Yeah. Koko!
Sorry, Shiro. I started to feel bad.
Shh. Oh. Spacey! I'm sorry for scaring you. I'll have Tamamo punish Shiro for doing all of this. No. Come on, don't do that to me.
Shiro, you're always just pretending to talk like some kind of cool guy.
Oh.
Of all the Ayakashi, I'm closest to Shiratsky. At least, compared to many of the others. I think I've spoken to him most. I mean, we always see him all the damn time. I mean, you know, because we're trying to romance the pants off him. But despite that, I don't think I know much about him. That much I knew for certain. I wouldn't think much of it if I was talking about any other Ayakashi, but for some reason, I feel sad about it since it's him. I still think his belt says vet. It's just fucking weird. Event meeting. Chapter 4? Throwing an event. It had been a while since the subject came up. We had yet to decide on the details for it just yet. Chapter 4, we got into the Shiratsky route. That's what it says. Chapter 4. When I scroll up, Shiratsky route. Yay, we're officially in it, bitches. Yes. We made it. Oh, we finally made it. Anyway. So today we were having a meeting to go over what we'd be doing. I wonder how many chapters the game is, actually. Oh, there's only 8 chapters. Okay. I mean, they do seem to go on for a while. But then again, it could just be... What is this? Like the 11th hour right now that we're in? So... I mean, I talk a lot. But also, like, the common route. The first 3 chapters in the common route could be longer than the route chapters. We'll see.
The event, huh? How about flying some kites or playing with...
Hagoita? Hagoita? Something. I don't know what it is. You're aware that those are mostly things you do for New Year's, right, Tokitsugu? Well, I can see how difficult it is to come up with a good idea on what to do. It'll be fine. If we put our heads together, I'm sure we can come up with a great plan.
But isn't it easy coming up with an... But it isn't easy coming up with an event where the Ayakashi can't abuse their powers.
True. Makatsui might suggest having games, but I have no idea what Amatsuna or Kikutsune would suggest. Yes, we do. Fashion show. Fashion games! This really was perfect timing. What do you mean?
It's a custom that the new hire in the 6 works with the Shirei in the sector they're in charge of during the event.
Through the Shirei, you can gain the Ayakashi's trust. It's a perfect time to get close to them. I see. I barely got to talk to them on my rounds. This would be a good opportunity to get to know them.
You were the one who suggested this event. I'm sure you'll make it a day to remember.
Sammy, don't pressure me like that. I gave Sammy a stern warning for his teasing. So, what am I in charge of? I think it was... you're in charge of Kikutsune. Of course we're in charge of Kikutsune. Because we're in Shiratsuki's route. Like, you didn't see that one come? Oh my god, what? No way! Sorry, I had to pretend to be surprised. I forgot. I forgot to pretend to be surprised. Pardon me. Kikutsune? That meant I'd be preparing the event with Shiratsuki. Good. Shiratsuki should be easy to work with. Oh, easy, huh? Yeah, not sure about that. No. Shiratsuki's easier for me, Yakumo. Yeah.
I suppose this is one of those things you need to experience to find out.
Is there a problem? Well, it's not a problem per se. It's just something that bothers me a little bit.
We've had some new hires over the years try and work with Shiro. It's fine at first, but somewhere in the middle, Shiro drops everything on Coco and slacks off.
Unlike Hira, Shiratsuki would never slack off and drop everything on Coco. Would he? You're like, I will beat that motherfucker into shape. No, he won't. But we're different, remember? We're the special. Because we're the MC of the game, so we're automatically the special. But also, Shiratsuki, we're not like other girls. Well, we are like other girls, apparently, and that's why he likes us. So that's cool, I guess. See? It's okay to be like other girls. Shiratsuki likes you when you're like other girls. I mean, he wasn't. You're just an ordinary person. Wow. Because we're not like... And so maybe that's why, like, when they have new hires and whatever, and he's working with them, he's like, oh, yeah, these people are just like everybody else, and I don't trust them. Because we kind of figured out, like, that's why he's always like, oh, he seems friendly, but it's also like, I'm friendly, but I kind of don't trust you. I keep my distance. And now that's probably the reason, because like, oh, every single one of you, you're not just a real person. You just want the power and shit, and you let it get to you, and like, you know, and like now we're like, he's like, wow, you're just actually just like a decent person, and you're not out for power and glory. Huh, weird. Huh, okay. So they'll be like, how did you get him to do what you said? And you're like, one, I'm a girl, and apparently he's into that shit. And two, apparently I am like a normal person, and he's into that shit. So awesome. Tokitsugu, you don't need to bring that up now.
No reason to hide it. Once you know, it's easier to deal with.
I guess so, but is there a chance that he's going to do that with me? And we will slap him when he does. Well, you and Kinker are close, so I'd say this won't be the same as the last time. Give her my number, okay? Tell her I love her. Tell her she smells like daffodils. I'm like, what does she smell like? And I don't know why, like, ham or cheese was the first thing that popped into my brain. And I was like, yeah, no, Yakumo, don't tell her she smells like cheese. I don't know why. I was like, she smells like cheese. She smells like ham. Wait, why am I'm apparently hungry, but also, what is a good smell? I mean, sure, a grilled cheese sandwich smells good, but you don't want somebody to be like, wow, you smell like cheese. Like, thanks? Like, actually, it does sound like a Yakumo thing. Hey, tell her she smells like cheese. What? I mean, Yakumo, I'm gonna just pushes him away by his face. Just go over there. I love Yakumo, but still. He would say something like that, so maybe that was my instinct.
Yeah, all I knew was Tadashi. It was another squad, so I only know what's in the report, but they like you, so I'm sure things will be better.
His voice was all over the place there.
If there's something wrong, report it. If you don't, then there's no way we can deal with it.
Thank you. I'll just do my best. Anyway, I'll pay Shiratsuki a visit as I go on my rounds. He may have a suggestion on what to do for this event.
Right, who knows? In the end, things might pan out well. Best of luck to you.
They send me off as I head to Kikutsune. In charge of Kikutsune, Chapter 4. I arrived at Kikutsune, but saw no one present inside Takamonomiya. That's a mouthful and a half. I wonder where Shiratsuki is. If Coco isn't around, maybe he's out on his rounds. It was nice that he was doing his job as a shirei, but not knowing where he was didn't help me any. again, I also want to, like, because I had to remind you that we love Jun Fukuyama in case you weren't aware. But also, I still, in the back of my mind, every once in a while, it goes, God, I really hope it's Shira and not Shire. Because I'm gonna feel real fucking stupid. It's going to be a forever concern. We're going to get done with the game, and it's going to be a concern. Yeah. But we in it now, so. And I'm going to wake up one day, like, on my deathbed and be like,
It's been 84 years and I'm still embarrassed.
I hope, no offense, but I hope I'm not alive in 84 years from now, because that's just excessive. Ugh. Oh my God. It's kind of scary to say that. Like, I don't want to live 84 more years. That's a long time from now. On top of, no, Jesus. I mean, I'm already basically dead in game, like, logic. So, like, Jesus Christ, I'll be beyond dead. Be like someone's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma. Unless I turn into an Ayakashi, then that's fine. Then I absolutely want to be alive 84 years from now, because I'm like, hi, immortal, right? So, fine. I know my way around already, but that doesn't mean I'll find him. I better find Shiratsuki, or else...
Or else what?
Shiratsuki, when did you... My heart jumps in surprise as he calls me from behind. Hey! It's Spacey! Why did they... Seriously? Are they ever... Like... Kinka and Tamamo just... Nothing? It's not even like, oh, they missed the first... They just never coded them to call you the right name, or whatever name you chose? Fucking weird. What? Kinka too?
I'm here as well. What a coincidence to find you here.
Are you working right now? I'm surprised to see you all here. You took me by surprise, but I'm so glad you found me.
I'm glad to hear it. So why were you looking for me? And did you need to talk to me about something?
I wanted to talk to you about the event.
Event? Oh, that. And the thing about doing something for everyone here.
Yes, we've gotten approval to host an event, and now I'm in charge of Kikutsune, which is why I wanted to see you.
Is that so? Keep up the good work.
I imagine he pats us on the head when he says that. You're acting as if it doesn't concern you, Shiro. I assume it's the Shire's role to assist in such matters as well.
Come now. I've not forgotten.
So what's the event about anyway? Oh, we haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna do my best so that it'll be a ton of fun for everyone. Oh, wow! I can't wait, meow! So first it's Muse, and then it's Nyaz, and now it's Meow. Like, Kinka, get your fucking cat voice straight. Like, doesn't matter, I love her. An event that everyone here will absolutely love and be excited about forever? I'll have to make sure everyone knows about it. I think you're really hyping it up. But please don't make it sound bigger than what it is, okay, Kinka?
I like how excited she is. You wouldn't want to let her down, right?
I don't plan to, but that's also why I need to speak with you about the event, especially regarding what it should be about. It's funny because it's like, we went around and asked everyone's opinions, but now we're working with Kikutsune, and we're going to plan the event. I guess maybe it's like, oh, it's an event, and then this time it's Kikutsune's time to deal with the event, and then, like, maybe they rotate, you know? Because at first I was thinking, like, oh, maybe, like, of course, we're dealing with Shiratsuki and Kikutsune because, you know, it's the route we're on. But then, like, oh, Seimi's dealing with Makatsui, and then, like, you know, Yakumo's dealing with Amatsuna, whatever. Okay, and that's how we're doing it. You know, we each take up some, but then it's like, why am I figuring out what the event should be about with Shiratsuki if everybody, you know what I mean? That seems weird. So, maybe they didn't think it all out. I don't know. Or we just rotate, like, this year's event, it's Kikutsune's job to figure it out. You know what I mean? So they rotate around so everybody gets the responsibility. I don't know.
A good event will provide the Ayakashi with some way to release their energy. More importantly, as this is a request for help from you, I'll come up with a few suggestions.
Thank you. It's reassuring to know you'll help, Shiratsuki. I'll help too, and let me know what I can do. Oh, you'll help too, Meow! Right, Tamamo?
Why, of course. Dear Spacey, I'll be helping you as well, so feel free to ask if you need anything at all. I'll help you to the best of my ability. Take my advice. Do not burden yourself with everything.
Tamamo, thank you so much. Coco, Kinka, everyone, thank you so much. Shunatsky, I look forward to working with you. Let's do our best so that we can have a wonderful event.
All right. It's a pleasure.
It will be. What? What I heard back at the office and what I was hearing from Shunatsky now felt so different. That's because he's kind of in love with us. He doesn't know it yet. Look, his eyelashes really are super long when he's got his eyes closed like that. Even so, I should keep an eye out since there are reports of problems working with him.
Oh, you've gone quiet. Is something the matter?
Oh, nothing. It's just...
Let me guess. Are you captivated by my beauty?
I love him. Shiro, you really shouldn't say that. How foolish you are, Shiro.
You're not serious, are you?
Wow, harsh. How dare you? Oh, sorry, I got a little quiet there. I look forward to working with you. I better stay on track and keep my focus on the event. I would have been like, oh, Shirotsky, sweetie, yes, you are pretty. Pat him on the head. You're captivated by my beauty. I mean, no, but, I mean, yeah. No, but yes. Like, I wasn't captivated by your beauty, but you are beautiful. That's on. Koya. This is where we are. But we're going to stop here, and we'll start in the subsection Koya in Chapter 4 in the next part. So, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.